Darnell, final preseason game tonight. What are you looking to see out of your team, and more specifically, the defensive corps heading into this one?
Well, that's an A1 suit right there. First off, start with that. No, it's every time you get to the last preseason game, obviously it's the last opportunity to kind of fine-tune the game, and you want to be as close to perfect as possible, especially heading into next week. Because we've talked about it throughout camp. Starting each and every game is so important. So this last game is a big tune-up. You work on the things over camp, whether it's system-wise. Personally, you want to continue to grow your game and get to a point where you're feeling good about yourself going into the season. So this is the final chance to do it.
You talked about being regular season ready. Where do you think you guys stand after the preseason games up to this date?
Yeah, I think we're pretty close. I mean, going through camp, you learn a new system. You're getting accustomed to new coaches, new terminology. I think we've done a really good job to this point. Obviously, like I said, we have one more preseason game where we have to kind of bring everything together going into next week. But so far, it's been pretty good, and it's exciting just to kind of see the finish line here for camp and preseason, and knowing that next week, each and every game, each and every shift matters.
Where are you at when it comes to playing with Adam Larsson right now? How do you feel you guys are when it comes to being in step? Yeah,
pretty good. I mean, each game feels like you continue to get more and more comfortable. I know that it's a fun challenge that we have, especially as the season kicks off. But we've felt pretty good so far. Obviously, there's always cracks and whatnot in preseason that you got to clean up. But that's what preseason games are for. And like I said, looking forward to having a good, strong final one here and getting into the ones that matter.
Darnell, Calgary has made a decision to add a little bit more physicality throughout their entire roster, NHL, NAHL. Is that something that gets addressed in a preseason game, or is it saved for a regular season game, or how do you kind of read a scenario like that, knowing that there might be a physical impetus in tonight's game?
Yeah, you don't read too much into it. Obviously, they have some physical guys, and they brought in some guys to be more of a force. But I mean, we have the same amount of guys on this side that can handle that part of the game. But you don't really look into it, to be honest. The way the game's played today, you have to have that hard physical element. I think it's shown in the teams that have won. But at the same time, you got to be able to play the game. And for us, we're no matter what physical element, I think our team is well equipped for any kind of game.
Fighting more in the minors when the minor league teams play. So there was 4 fights last night.
Yeah, I think you see the fighting a little more down there. But I mean, the physical part of the game. This is a heated rivalry. I think we saw some of that last year. A couple of those games picked up. Kind of felt like a little bit old school hockey. With the last preseason game, you never know really how it's going to go. But everyone's competitors. They're competitors. We're competitors. So you never want to be in kind of a losing position. You're always playing hard. That's just how this game is.
What words would you use for Milan on the ice?
On the ice?
Or in the warm-up room?
No, nothing. I know Luch was, for us, we loved having him as a teammate. He's a great guy, and still talk to him over the course of the summer, talk to him a bit. But you put on different jerseys, you become opponents, and when you get on the ice and between the boards and whatnot, and for that 60 minutes, you're enemies. But Luch was, I think I can speak for everyone around here. Everyone loved Luch as a teammate and as a person.
Thank you. Thanks, Darnell.
It's obviously never a good time to be injured or to fight through something, but during camp, maybe not being able to show yourself as much as possible. How's it been the last week and a half?
Yeah, obviously, when you're not skating and when you're not playing, it's not fun, and it's not easy to watch those games outside. But now I'm feeling good, and it's good to be back.
What do you hope to show tonight? I mean, you've talked a little bit about your role, obviously, but you're jumping back in, final tune-up for the regular season.
Yeah, it's a good thing for me now. It's a last game, and now it's a good opportunity for me to show what I got, and we'll see what happens after.
Marcus, when there's a lot of competition for roles and roster spots heading into opening week, what does that do internally? Does that make you elevate your game a little bit?
Yeah, obviously, it's a competition here going on, and everyone has to show their best game every day, and I think it's a good thing. Everyone is pushing each other, so it's a good thing for the team.
How do you kind of balance that? You're kind of competing with your teammates for roster spots, but yet you're trying to also be a good teammate and supporting them. How do you kind of maybe try to balance that?
Well, I think everyone knows how it is in the NHL. Like, you're still trying to be a teammate, but still trying to fight for a spot. So I think everyone knows how it is.
Did you play games with the sore groin before they knew that you had a sore?
No, it was kind of on the way, but it was still good when I was playing. Yeah.
Thanks, Marcus.
Good.
good. Dave, tonight's the final preseason game before opening night on Wednesday. What are you hoping to see out of your club tonight?
Well, there's still a couple of, job situations that we're trying to sort out there. And basically, it's the same mindset as the start of camp a little bit, where there's jobs that are there to be won, there's roles that are there to be won, there's ice time to earn, and it's our last look at players before we kind of mold our group together and get ready for the game one.
How many spots up front would you say, for starting night, are still open in your mind and maybe on the blue line, if you were to kind of put a number on each?
One or two, maybe. In my mind, where I think people fit, or there's some of those jobs that I think I'm looking for the right person in a certain spot. So there's a couple guys maybe auditioning for that spot, but they're going to be in one spot or the other. So it's more the mix that I'm looking for. It's not this guy makes it, this guy doesn't. There's a lot of scenarios where these two guys are going to play. It's just where they're going to play.
So you don't have in your own mind, okay, here's my 12 forwards, and then we're worrying about who the 13th and 14th.
I have a good idea who the 13th, where we're going to end up, but I'm more concerned about where the parts are going to fit in.
Bertasov apparently got released.
Yeah. You know what, it's too bad. There was a visa issue that he couldn't get over here quicker. It's a fine line between, we're trying to get our team up and going, and he didn't get enough time here, and he's going to take some time to adapt over here. The English is an issue for him a little bit, the ability to play on a smaller rink. I mean, he's a big guy, he's got some talent, but right now we just don't have the time to say, okay, hang around for a month or so and see how it goes.
Was there a thought that, as Ryan pointed out, maybe you could send him to Bakersfield on an amateur tryout?
That's going to be, Ken and I talked about that, and I think Ken would be open to that, but but that's a scenario that I'm not sure if that player is looking at that or not. That's into his court.
Who are you thinking about playing Ethan Bear alongside tonight?
Tonight he'll play with Lagesson.
Okay. And, I mean, it's one thing when you get next to a veteran like Oscar Clefbaum where the game is fairly stabilized. What will you learn tonight from Ethan Bear, with another young guy next to him? What will you see?
Well, hopefully you see the same kind of game. Clef is a real steadying guy, but Bear's been steady all camp, no matter who he's been with. So we just need him to play just steady minutes like he's played so far, and that's what we're looking for. See, the thing is, it's amazing how it goes, where everybody always, you put a player in a situation and because he's with this player, it's that makes him higher in the standing or lower in the standing. It's about what each player does, what would they bring to the team to help us win. And it's not about who you play with, it's about playing well enough you can contribute to our team game. And there's so much of it. This guy plays here, this guy plays. In a game, it goes all over the place. You have players jump all over the place. It's from a coaching standpoint, you can flip guys here and there, and what you're trying to do is maximize each individual to mold your team to win. And it's not about individuals or who they play with, it's about winning. And that's what we're trying to get to here.
So you played Patrick Russell the first 6 games, but you're not playing him tonight. Does that mean that Patrick Russell's on the team and some of these other guys have to beat him?
It doesn't mean anything. It means that he played 6 games, and there was a couple of those other ones we were looking to give him a break, but we had some injury issues, and we threw him back in there because he's been a good player, a steady, good player for us.
Does not seeing Granlund as much as probably either one of you would have liked affect your perception of him, or do you feel he's established enough, you know what you're getting?
Well, I know what he can do. I would have liked to certainly see a lot more of him in camp, but I'm going to put him in some of those situations tonight. I'd like to see him get up and going tonight a little bit, so you can at least get a glimpse of where he's at.
Dave, when guys are fighting for, a couple spots and it's the last game of the preseason, are you the type of coach that has discussions with those guys trying to make the team, or do you let them be? What have you
They all
found?
know. You don't get to the last game here. They all know where they're standing. You got about 5 guys in there trying to do whatever they can to make the team. So there's, I have conversations with everybody, but there's the guys that know that they're still bubble guys or guys that want more ice time, they'll go into this game and have the mindset they got to prove what they can do.
Connor didn't want to play the game, or you just decided?
I think Connor did, but we just decided to hold him out.
Were you, I mean, he talked about in that Winnipeg game, maybe looking to shake off a bit of the extra rust and stuff through the two games. Were
He
you?
was fine there, but it's an organizational thing. We just decided to keep him out.
And Nuge is
Nuge just probably could have played. He practiced yesterday, but he's battling a little bit of a leg injury, and we're being safe there.
He'll be all right for opening night.
Yeah, he's fine.
Goalies tonight?
Koskinen the whole game.
Thanks, David.
Appreciate it.